Book Monster Match with a Channel Check In for August 2nd, 2026. Uh, I've been reading, I've been reading Blade itself. I'm sorry, I was about to say Game of Thrones, honestly, but I started watching Game of Thrones again, the DVD box set. Uh, I have been having, honestly, but I barely started that and haven't gotten back to it. I I think I might have finished the first disc of season one, which isn't difficult to do. Each each disc only has two episodes, so it's fairly easy to finish a disc. Uh, but like I said, I think the furthest I've gotten on this round might be season one, disc two. Um, but on reading, on the reading side of things, like I said, I've gotten 55, 60 pages into The Blade itself by Joe Abercrombie, the first book in the First Law trilogy. That's a mouthful. But anyway, now I know recently, fairly recently, I've said that I don't have access to Netflix or didn't have access to Netflix rather. Well, that has been corrected since, and I do have access to Netflix and Disney Plus. So I have been watching a few little shows and movies on Disney Plus. Those being Fantastic Four First Steps, the introduction movie for Fantastic Four into the MCU, and honestly, I had heard fairly negative reviews of the movie, and honestly, objectively, I can understand that, but at the same time, it's not the greatest, but for the introduction of Fantastic Four to the MCU proper, I find it's fairly decent. Um, Galactus as a big threat in the movie is a whole lot better than they did with Galactus as a threat back in the 2000s or early 2010s, and they had Silver Surfer along with Galactus. The only difference, which I don't mind personally, is Silver Surfer being female instead of male. Yes, I'm giving spoilers, but I feel if you're into the MCU and into Fantastic Four or comic books, movies in general, you've seen the movie already by now because it came out, what, a year ago, year and a half ago, maybe. I feel fairly confident and um, leisure to give some spoilers. I've also started Thunderbolts, New Avengers, New Avengers being the subtitle, of course, of Thunderbolts. I haven't finished that yet. Now, unlike Fantastic Four, I have my gripes with Thunderbolts, but at this point, comic book movies in general, pretty much you get what you pay for, and that's just kind of, at this point, action for action's sake, and the good guys seem to always win and barely break a sweat um, doing so. It seems we get villains for villain's sake, that type of thing. That's me personally, I think that's what a comic book in general entails. So, yeah, that's about all I've been watching, and like I said, reading um, The Blade itself, First Law Trilogy, Book One. And like I said again, I'm 10% into it, maybe somewhere in the neighborhood of 50, 60 pages. Can't say chapter wise because they don't have chapter numbers. They have titles such as Game of Thrones, aka Song of Ice and Fire books. But I'll get some good and negative feedback right now with that. The good is characters, of course, like everyone says, are well established. You can tell them apart pretty much. You may not know everything about them, or I don't know everything about them at this point, but they make their motivations pretty clear from the start. You may not know what they're truly after yet, but you know that a lot of them, especially one in particular, seems to be up to no good, but at the same time, with one in particular, Locked I'm speaking about. Galacta may not be up to good, but honestly, you can sympathize with him as his story unfolds to this point. I do, I can, and not just because I'm disabled. You know, I got to the point in the story that they say why and how his body's so wrecked. Um, I'm almost sure there's more to his story. Like I said, only 10% in. Um, you might get this reference if you're my age and possibly younger, but the old McDonald's slogan, or maybe the slogan for McDonald's now is I'm loving it. So I'm here for it. I want more. Um, the only, well, not the only, but the major gripe I have with the blade itself right now is the chapters seem to be a little too short. Of course, the whole book is only 500 pages or so. But, I think I'm getting to the point where the chapter and the page count might even out to about 10 pages at this point. Um, I'm not sure. I know for a while, 3, 4, 5 pages in the chapter was done. Hey, one day, I was able to read 2 chapters in the same day, which, you know, is fine, it's good, but honestly, I feel there needs to be a little more meat on the bone, and I'm sure I'm getting there eventually. I know, or not that I know, I've heard it's not plot heavy, at least in the first book. The second and third book is where the plot takes off. From what I understand, the Blade itself, book one, is just setting the stage, characters, world, things of that nature. Now that's what I've heard. Once I get further along, I'll see. Um, but that's about all. Really, I've been writing a little here and there when I'm able or in the mood. Um, I recently posted a video saying I have a document uh, on my computer with just some short stories. I just created that document. I didn't really start anything proper yet. I'm working on dawn shall come, honestly. Um, I believe right now I have 1,200 words or so in my dawn shall come document. And again, that's the first draft. So when I throw out numbers like 1,200 words, um, that's good. But as I've said before, not everything will stay at this point. I'll work on adding and subtracting and moving things around. Honestly, as I go, yes, but a lot of that will come later. Um, so that's it for this check in, like I said, for August 2nd of 2026. On the 8th, which I believe is this Friday, no, this Saturday, I'm sorry. I have my 25th high school reunion. Very hard to believe that I graduated high school 25 years ago now. So I I'm hoping to go to that. Whether I'm able or not, I don't know for sure Saturday when it comes around, but it's just right down the road, pretty much next door to my apartment complex. It's at a little Mexican restaurant here in town. La Casa is the name of the restaurant. Uh, so hopefully I'm able to make that and just catch up with people I haven't seen in quite a while. Um, like I said, I'll just play by ear and see what happens. Thank you. Have a good day, good evening, and I'll talk to you soon. I have an idea. I've been having an idea for a Jim Henson related video. I've tried to make it 2 or 3 times now. It's just, I hope I can make that happen sooner rather than later, let's say. But that and everything else will, come in time. So, again, have a good day, good evening, and I'll talk to you another time with another video. Thank you. Also, 82 subscribers at this point, and I'm pretty sure this video 250. So, where or I'm getting up there on this platform. Thank you for the support. And as always, it just takes me a little more time to get things together and videos going, but I'll put them out when I'm able. Um, yeah, so thank you once again. Bye.